Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I'm Anne-Marie Tiernan filling in for Scott Swan today. A sentencing hearing for Mark Leonard has just ended in South Bend. Just yesterday, he was found guilty of 53 counts that include murder in the Richmond Hill explosion. Eyewitness News reporter Rich Van Wyk has been covering the trial from the start, and he joins us now live in South Bend outside the St. Joseph Courthouse with what's happening at the hearing today. Rich?
Anne-Marie, the hearing lasted perhaps less than an hour. At the end of it, Judge John Marnoka said he will decide within the next 30 days whether Mark Leonard should be sentenced to life without parole in prison. The prosecutors are requesting this extreme and extraordinary sentence because of what they cite as the extreme circumstances or aggravating circumstances of their crime. They point out and are trying to prove to the judge that this crime was committed by Leonard using an explosive. His home that he shared with Monserrate Shirley filled up with natural gas and then ignited. Also another aggravating circumstance, the fact that two people were killed, one and then another. We know those people, Dion and Jennifer Longworth. They live next door. And that Dion Longworth died a horrible death. In fact, he was burned alive, according to the evidence and the prosecutors. Leonard's attorneys are opposing this life without parole sentence. They insist prosecutors just haven't proven their case to the letter of the law. Everyone, though, agrees that Dion died a horrible death, trapped inside the basement of their burning home. Both neighbors and firefighters on that night could reach him, touch him, and talk to him, but they couldn't pull him from the debris. Brian and Heather Hollingsworth were among those people. They tried to help, but couldn't. They said they will remember that the rest of their lives. They support life without parole for Leonard.
I think the appropriate punishment is life in prison without the possibility of parole. To me, the evidence with all of the extenuating factors about the fact the evidence proved there was more than one, two, it was a third attempt. The fact that there seemed to be no end to his desire for money, and the fact that the steps that were taken to preclude personal possessions and animals out of the property tells me that that was a person that is more interested in gain, financial gain, than concern for fellow humans.
Prosecutors did not play Dion Longworth's last and dying words. They were recorded by his home security company. He was on the phone with them trying to get help, trying to get rescued. The judge has already said that he will set sentencing on August 14th. He explained to those in court that there is a huge possibility from as few as 45 years to as many as 1,488. And a more likely reasonable sentence will be somewhere between those two numbers. Prosecutor Denise Robinson said today that if she has not granted her request for life without parole, she will argue for a sentence for Mark Leonard that amounts to life in prison. Reporting live from South Bend, Rich Van Wyk, Channel 13 Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Rich. In our next half hour at 12:30, we'll hear from another person impacted by the blast, a man who lived next door to the home that exploded. That's coming up for you today at 12:30.